for joining us again in today's video. I think you're trying to become a YouTube sensation, aren't you? Welcome to my channel, Tea Time with Tanya. I'm Tanya. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. If you don't really know what I do here, a little bit of everything. I am currently a stay-at-home mom of 2 awesome kids, plus a dog and a cat. And I do a little bit of some thrifting and like couponing hauls and things on my video, along with some natural just tips and recipes and different things, and also along with just some mom life stuff. And as usual, there's usually always tea in my channel. I'm a tea fanatic, so if that's kind of your thing, you're interested in that, I would love for you to subscribe down below and just know of upcoming videos, and I'd love to get to know you and hope that you join in to my little YouTube channel. So without further ado, I'm going to get into today's video. I'm going to do, I think this is like, I've been saying I've been doing this, I was going to do this video for the longest time, and I finally am. I'm going to do just 20 facts about me, because I feel like I've shared so many different videos, and I don't really know if you guys really know much about me, and I love watching these for other YouTubers that I like to follow, because I feel like you get a little bit closer to whoever you're watching. So let's get into it, and I have actually, I have my little notepad, and I wrote down my 20 facts. So with my cat here, Murchik, let's get into it. So my favorite color is blue. It always has been. I don't know. It's just very calming, and I love it. I am automatically drawn to pretty much anything blue. And I start to notice that like all my clothes and all my things, I'm just subconsciously to everything blue. Like, yeah, see, I'm wearing a blue shirt today. Like, it's just always blue. So number 2 about me that maybe people don't know is that I'm actually a refugee. I currently live in Minnesota, but I'm originally from Ukraine. I was born when it was the Soviet Union, and I can do another video if people are interested. If you have questions down below, I can do a whole other video about this, but it's definitely something that has affected who I am and so many of my life choices and how I live out my life, even as a parent now. But yeah, I'm a refugee from Ukraine, and I've been here for 18 years now, so a long time, but it's definitely something, like I said, it's still everyday part of my life. And so yeah, let me know if you guys would be interested in another video, because that'd be like a whole other story. But just so, yeah, that's something about me that's a big part of who I am. And number 3 is that I like to learn languages. I find it really fun. Like maybe some people have different hobbies. That's what kind of like a hobby of mine. I took German for 5 years when I was in school, and then I took Spanish for 3 years in college, and also my husband, he's from Mexico, so with his family we speak a little bit of Spanish. And I started learning Somali, so that's just something that, hey, no nibbling, that. So I like, yeah, I find it really fun, and it's something I think I'm kind of good at. And so, and I also myself speak Russian, because I'm from Ukraine. I understand Ukrainian as well, and then obviously English. So I really like languages. Number 4, I have known my husband since we've been in 6th grade. That's also like a whole other story, but I've liked him actually since I was in 8th grade, which is crazy. So I actually married like my middle school crush, I guess. And we've been married for, it's 4.5 years. And yeah, so in speaking of my husband, number 5 about me, is that paper cranes have a special meaning to me. I'll quick share, if many of you know the Japanese story of 1,000 cranes, and that when you make 1,000 cranes, the last one, you can have any wish you want. And I've always loved that story. I thought it was just so cool, and there's something about paper cranes I've loved. And I actually share that story with my husband like when we were dating in high school. And he actually proposed to me by making 1,000 paper cranes by hand. It was amazing, like that he remembered that. And so I just, still to this day, like anything with paper cranes just has a lot of meaning to me, and they're really important. So that's something else about me. Number 6 is that I have 1 dog and 1 cat who's trying to take over. Yeah, I have a Dalmatian. Her name is Sol, and we have 1 cat. His name is Murchik. If you are a Russian speaker, like you know that that's like the number 1 cat name. I feel like I grew up with like multiple Murchiks when I was in Ukraine. So yeah, he's awesome. We used to have another cat, but unfortunately we lost her this summer. Her name was Murka because she was a girl, but we just have the 1 cat right now. So and then number 7 is that I love Christmas. Like if you know me, I love it so much. Like I'm rocking my Christmas vest. We have 2 Christmas trees in my house. I probably would have more if I could have more. It's something about it I just love. I don't know, it just makes me happy. And now that I have kids, I just love it. And just every time it makes me so happy this season. And I live in Minnesota now, so like the snow and just everything, the birth of Jesus, like it just makes me so happy and it's amazing. So I love Christmas, like everything about it. So I'm a big Christmas, like I start getting ready for Christmas, like I feel like in August in my mind. And when it's socially acceptable, this year I put on my Christmas tree like the day after the elections because I feel like we needed cheering up. Anyway, so I start planning for Christmas like and getting ready as soon as I can. So I love it. Okay, number 8 is the fact that I am an ESL teacher. I got my college degree in TESOL education, so English as a second language. And currently, like I said, I do stay home with my kids, and I have been for the past almost 2 years, this upcoming January. But I actually just this fall, I went back to teaching Somali. I started teaching Somali adults. And I work just one night a week, so in the evenings, and I love it. I used to teach kindergarten and kindergarten through 5th, and I also love that, but I just love working with adults too. Like, it's amazing, and I love my job, and it's so nice to have that one night a week to still do what I love besides being a mom. You know, like I love being a mom, but I love having that part of my life before kids and to be able to practice that. So I'm an ESL teacher. And let's see, number 9, I love to read. Don't have that much time to always do it, and I'm tired a lot. But when I do, I like to read historical fiction or like historical romance, I guess. I'm a sucker for love stories, as cheesy as they can be. But yeah, historical fiction is my favorite genre. Let's see, number 10, I've never broken a bone. I don't know, I guess I'm glad. I don't want to like stop that trend anytime soon, but I've never broken anything. So. Number 11, this is kind of embarrassing, but I passed my driver's license test on the 4th time. And I swear there's like a whole big story to that too. It wasn't completely my fault. Maybe everyone says that, but it's true. But yeah, I always tell people when they feel bad, I'm like, I passed on the 4th time. So, but yeah. I swear I'm a good driver though. I've like never been in any accidents or anything. It's just, there's a whole lot of stories to all that. But number 12 is that I love fun socks, silly socks. Growing up, that was like my thing, and it still is really, people still give me socks. I used to have socks that play music, and actually, I got left in my foot here. I'm wearing toe socks today that have little snowmen and snowflakes. So I just, still to this day, even being a mom, I love fun socks, even for my kids. I don't know, it's fun. I love it. It's my thing. Number 13 is that my favorite animal is bears. They kind of have a special meaning to me and my husband back when we were dating, and then actually when we got pregnant with my son, when we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, and I would just call the baby my little bear, and it just kind of stuck. And then when we found out it was a boy, we would call him Mr. Bear, and still to this day, if you'll see sometimes on my vlog, I'll say, hey, Mr. Bear, and that's like his nickname, we call him that. And then we have Miss Bear, my daughter. Just bears are really, I don't know, they're kind of like our family symbol thing. I don't know, I just love bears. In real life, and also just the meaning of them for our family. Number 14, food-wise, because I love food. Number 14 is that I love sour cream. I don't know if it's the Ukrainian me, because if you're Ukrainian and Russian, like sour cream is like the staple. Like we get the giant tub from Costco, and it's so good. And like people thought I was crazy in college, because I remember my roommates once, they called me, I was just like licking. Like I just was like eating ice cream, or sour cream, and I think I like licked the spoon, and they were like, did you just eat sour cream by itself? And I was like, oh, do people not do that? Is that not acceptable? And yeah, I just love it. It's so good. And it's so funny because my son, he's like me. He will genuinely just like lick, like he'll just eat and like lick spoons of sour cream. He loves it. Oh, it's so good. I love it. It's like a crisis in our house if we run out of sour cream. It's so good. Number 15 is that obviously I love tea. Speaking of tea, I should take a sip. It's getting cold. The Christmas bug. So fun. I love tea. Obviously, my channel is Tea Time with Tanya, and I think tea to me, it also is not just like a thing or whatever, or something you drink. To me, it's also like a special meaning, comfort. Where I come from in Ukraine, tea is huge, or like Russian cultures as well. Like we drink tea every day, and it's something special. It's like how you bond socially with people, with your friends. Like if there's something going on, you make someone a cup of tea. If someone's upset, if you're celebrating, there's tea. There's just always tea, and ever since I can remember growing up, tea was a huge part of my life growing up, and I feel like it's not always that way here in American society or like American culture. And so that's just something that's really important to me. And it might seem silly, but it's still something that, like, if I just want to comfort a friend, or even, like, for me, someone's like, can I help you? So just make me a cup of tea. Like, that just makes me feel better. It just warms my heart and my body, literally. But it's just so sweet and a small gesture that I love. And with tea, my favorite is Earl Grey, but I love all different kinds of teas. But that's a little bit of why my channel is called Tea Time with Tanya, because I want it to be a time, like, for me to get a break, but also to spend time with you and to connect with other people over a cup of tea or coffee, whichever. So, yeah. And then number 16, some of the places I've worked before I became a teacher. My first job, I worked at Target, and I started out as a cashier, and then I worked as an operator, and I did soft lines, if you know what that is, if you're a Target employee. So I used to do that, and then I worked also as a receptionist at a chiropractor clinic, and I loved that job. It was awesome. I still go to that chiropractor, but I loved it. It was really fun. It was a small little clinic, and the best boss ever. It was so cool. And then I also worked as a barista at a coffee shop. That was really fun. It was a crazy experience. I really liked it, though. And then I also was a cleaning lady. I did that for a little bit before I had my son, and that was really fun because I used to clean for, like, elderly people, so I got to meet just lots of different people and hear their stories. And then I also worked at the library in college, which that was one of my favorite jobs too, because I love the library. And so I've heard so many crazy things, but I feel like with each one I learned so many different experiences. Like, I'm glad I went through those things and had each of those different, like, I had retail and, like, medical stuff, and I worked with different people, so I really love those experiences. Number 17 is that I like to scrapbook. Before, obviously, I had children, I had more time, so I was able to do it more. And obviously now I don't really have time to, like, sit and take out all my papers and stickers, and it's getting to be pricey. Like, if you're a scrapbooker or a crafter, you know that gets, like, it can add up. And so I actually have been doing a lot of the Shutterfly books. I really like those. Most of the time I always find codes, or I, like, get those for free or pretty cheap, so I usually tend to do those, and I really like them. They take a little bit less time for me, but I still get somewhat of my creativity outlet out, so I love doing that. But if I have more time, I would love to scrapbook, like, the stickers and everything. Number 18 is that I love going for walks, especially, obviously, here in Minnesota, it's cold a lot, especially now. We're actually in the middle of a winter storm advisory today, 7 to 11 inches, and, so I'm not always out in the winter walking, but during the summer, like, as soon as it's somewhat spring here, I love walking with my kids. We're always out, and with my husband, like, if we can just get some time away to just go for a walk, I love that. So that's one of my favorite things. And number 19 is I love nature, kind of along with the walking, but my favorite flowers are tulips, peonies, and orchids. But pretty much any flower. Like, if my husband buys me flowers, I'm like, yes. Like, it just makes my heart so happy. Like, any flowers, really. But tulips are my favorite. Hey, no nipping. Tulips are my favorite because they remind me of my grandma in Ukraine. She has them growing along, like, the street kind of by her house, and so they just remind me of that, and I love them. And the last fact about me is I started my YouTube channel actually kind of with a suggestion from my husband. He just told me, he said, you know, like, you're so good at couponing and being thrifty, like, you have these ideas, why don't you make a YouTube channel? And I was like, because I never really thought about it. And he said, you know, you have these people asking you questions, how you coupon, how you get all these deals, and he said, it's just such a fun way, like, an outlet. And I said, hey, why not? So that's kind of why I started YouTube. And yeah, that's just kind of based on his, like, ideas. I was like, why not? I'll start it and see kind of how it goes. And I really like it because I think it's a fun way for me to get my creativity out and to get to hopefully meet new people and connect with others. And yeah, so those are 20 facts about me. Hopefully that helps you kind of get to know me a little bit more. And I was wondering about my subscribers. I don't really know where in the US, the world, where you guys are. So if you can comment down below and let me know where you guys are located, and yeah, or maybe if you're from another country and you live somewhere else here in America now, I would love to hear that. And also, if you have any other questions, or like you're wondering other things about me or whatever, feel free to leave them below, and maybe I can do a part 2 if you guys have any questions. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me for my tea break today. And my cat too. What you can say hi. It's kind of a grumpy cat. Oh no, you don't. But yeah, thank you for joining us, and until my next video, bye!